Samuel Morse was significant because he built the first telegraph transmit line and was able to get important information from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore in little time. Less time than it would have taken by horse or by train. This is more important than the Oregon Trail because it's a new way for the country to communicate. President Tyler would have been able to use this when it came to important meetings and people couldn't come. Traveling would take too long, and by the time the decision needed to be made, it would be too late. The one-wire telegraph is a quicker way to communicate with the people using Morse code. Samuel Morse shaped American history because he came up with a new way to communicate. In May of 1844, Samuel sent a message from Baltimore to Washington, D.C. He used the government to get funding for the project. This was a great investment because it led Morse to put wires across the country next to the railroads. This helped shape history because he was able to put a line that would be able to help with communication over long distances. Important decisions that required some people to travel by train could take a while. With the one-wire telegraph and Morse code, messages are able to get from point A to point B a lot faster. This adds to the legacy of our president because he didn't have very many things to be remembered for, but when Congress told Morse that he could have the funding, it added a benefit to Tyler's leadership over the country. Even though the president has no say in what Congress decides, Morse making connections across the country is still beneficial to him. Using Morse code, Tyler could communicate with governors that lived in other states, and the governors wouldn't have to travel or write a telegram that could take forever to get to the White House. Also, traveling takes a while. Samuel has had a lasting effect on modern times because he created, in some people's eyes, the first telephone. This has affected modern society because without it, we wouldn't have communication systems and phones. The first time he tried the telegraph, it won him $30,000 that he spent to construct an experimental 38-mile line from D.C. to Baltimore, Maryland. This was the first long-distance telegraph wire in the country. Samuel Morse was the most important historical figure in shaping John Tyler's presidency and the America we have at this moment because he created the one-wire telegraph and Morse code, which saved time, money, and in some cases, people's lives. The use of Morse code is still going on today. It was used to send a distress call when the Titanic was sinking. Morse tapped the message, "What hath God wrought?" from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore in 1844. This proves that Morse was important to shaping the country and was important to John Tyler's presidency because he created a faster way of communicating important messages from the White House to, let's say, Mississippi.